Hello and welcome to our Webgains Transform series of talks through 2021. Today we're going to hear from Mumtaz, our Global Head of Strategic Growth. She's worked to build brands throughout her career in the advertising and marketing industries, and she now leads a top-flight international services team here at Webgains that has won no less than 6 PMAs over the last couple of years and an IPMA. Mumtaz's proven experience benefits from spanning across agency side, network side and client side, and she now has responsibility for our key global accounts. Throughout the Transform series, Mumtaz has been speaking to various members of our global team, who I will now leave Mumtaz to introduce. Thank you.
Hi everyone, thank you very much for joining me today. I'm very privileged to be sat here in the first of our sessions for the Drum magazine about a look back at Q4 last year with our German Managing Director, Richard Oberhofer. So very, very pleased to be sat here with you today, Richard. How are you today?
I'm absolutely fine. Thanks, Mumtaz, and thanks for the invitation. And thank you for participating. That's absolutely fantastic for me. Thank you.
And just a quick introduction for Richard. He's a veteran. He has been in the online marketing world for 20 years, and most recently he spent 12 years at Affiliate and Awin. So we are very, very fortunate to have poached Richard from our other sort of sector companies, colleagues. Without further ado, let's go into the questions that I'm going to be asking you today, Richard. As we said earlier, this is really to take a look at how Q4, what insights we can get in terms of how Q4 panned out in Germany, in the DACH region. So my first question is, what are some of the interesting strategies you noticed, Richard, from German retailers in this period? And not necessarily just Webgains clients, but obviously feel free to mention any Webgains clients as well.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you also for the introduction, Mumtaz. And if I'm thinking about strategies, I mean, what isn't strategy? Strategy for me is and that's really hard to answer, because a strategy is something long lasting. And in my opinion, no one had really the opportunity to make any long lasting strategies. Strategies, you need some measures, and you need a goal, and you need a vision. But in this case, no one expected such a pandemic situation. Yeah. So it's just an answer on circumstances. Some, or maybe a lot of the retailers and resellers did to face this situation. And of course, there are some strategies or even more answers to this market. And by thinking where you are at the complete time, and it's in every country, it's different how they play with the answers on this pandemic, and every government has its answers. So it means that resellers were able to adopt new answers. And these new answers, for example, is we've got since a few weeks, we have this kind of click and collect. So you can buy it online and collect it offline from the store. We have digital wardrobes, digital clothing rooms. In the meantime, H&M, they are establishing something like that. And for example, also you can call a reseller, have a video chat, they tell you what could fit you, and then they send it home to you, or you do a click and collect. So there are some answers that are really nice, and we hadn't that in that case before. But they're just answers are not a strategy. a strategy could be something different if you look, for example, on the older people. Yeah, they weren't used to buy online or to go online anymore. And that means strategy could be think of the older people, yeah, which were not able, make it as easy as possible, help them by phone, by video calls or whatever, invite them in a very, very easy way. And that's something for the future to gain also those older people. And I'm telling that because I'm older as well. No, but I mean, I'm an onliner, yes, but so
Well,
many
same as you, yeah.
come on, Mumtaz, you are not. But that's absolutely fine, and you have to take care about them, yeah. And it's also about the young people. How do they buy online? Yeah, it's a different way. Now they are get interest by ads. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the current situation is hard, and the last quarter was hard. Yeah, but where are you at the most of the time? Yeah, you are sitting at home. You're sitting at home. We are, especially here over in Germany, we are able to go out for sports anytime. Yeah, that means there are some industries where you really profit from this situation. Or what I mean, profit. What is profit in this situation? But it's you can have answers on what the questions and the need is here. Yeah. So yeah, that's are the strategies, and to come even more to the industries and the branches we are faced with. Yeah, you sit at home, make sport, and what you're doing a lot is cooking. You cook your stuff. Yeah, you cook your stuff. You're very, very keen on buying natural food, biological stuff, and sustainability. That's also something which has grown a lot. But again, these are not strategies. These are answers.
So it's like short-term tactics, really, because you know, obviously, you can't plan so much long-term, can you? Because no one knows what's going to happen next with this virus and the current pandemic situation. The digital wardrobe you mentioned, that sounds really interesting. Can you tell me a little bit more about this, please?
Yeah, I would try to. I mean, it's just a project. It will be established, yeah. But I guess it has been also established for some other resellers. But this one, it's a big one, a really huge one. H&M here over in Germany, I don't know. Do you have them in the UK as well? I
Yes,
guess.
we do. Yes, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And that means you are doing something like a video chat. You call them and saying, I need a meeting, yeah, with someone, and then you can put some clothes in your wardrobe, in a digital wardrobe, saying these are the my clothes, my size, yeah, for the different styles, and then you can wear it digital online on the screen and say, oh yeah, cool, that's my outfit, I like it, and with the correct size, of course, it must be given, yeah, that will be sent to you. And that's really something, I mean, it's really cool, because you see yourself on the screen, also with your photo, and you're looking, and maybe a different background. I'm not so many details haven't been published so far, but I guess it will be your photo, or your maybe with a live face, your face with a camera, and then you wear the stuff you like to wear, and if this outfit fits you, whether or not. And I mean,
That's amazing.
Absolutely cool, yeah. And I don't know how big the picture is and so on. We will see that, but this idea is something also for the future. It's an answer, but it's also an answer for the future. It could be also even adapted from many others, yeah. To have it's like second life before 20 years ago.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
When you walk around, and you can do also a journey, not a journey, but it's a trip to the Mount Everest already, yeah, with others in a group, but it's virtual, so you can do it. So virtual life, the second life, 20 years later, yeah.
That sounds really interesting. Thank you very much for giving us those insights there. So I'm going to move on to my next question. Did you spot any particularly eye-catching campaigns in the last quarter that would have made you, as a customer, buy from a brand for the first time? Did you spot anyone doing anything so interesting. You were like, oh my God, I've never bought from these guys, but this makes me think maybe I want to try buying something from them.
Maybe, yeah, that's interesting because I'm very filtered about what I see and what I get or what I buy. To be honest, yeah, I'm very selective on what I'm buying, and I'm keen to buy things that are really, yeah, that will accomplish me in the next couple of years, and the most of the time the products I choose. And of course, I've seen a lot of campaigns, and when looking at the campaigns, the most of them are in specific branches, industries where we're really pandemic associated. Yeah, we're talking about home entertainment, we are talking about food, we are talking about furniture, for example, we are talking about, yeah, home entertainment, Netflix. It was a Netflix campaign. There was a Spotify campaign.
Yeah.
There was a MediaMarkt campaign, and then all these food retailers, food shops, supermarkets. Yeah, Penny, Netto, Edeka in Germany, well-known retailers and stores, and all of them, Lidl, Aldi, they all of them had such a campaign. So you see a specific focus on food, home entertainment, and of course. Something which is maybe very special for Germany, it's CBD and hemp.
Oh yes, yes, that's quite popular over here as well, actually. Yeah, the CBD oils. Yeah.
It will change. I mean, the rules here over in Germany, they changed for hemp. Has been changed before 50 years already by the
Oh,
government. Yeah, but since 50 years, there's no progress. But now, since, yeah, I would say 1-2 years, it becomes not the last quarter. Yeah, but it becomes even more popular. Yeah, and one of those guys, not those guys, but one of those companies, they did a lot, especially here over in Munich. And I'm sitting here in my, yeah, at home in Munich, and I see a lot of those on the billboards and also online, Bild.de. So they do offline and online, so omni-channel. They present their stuff, and we see that the industry, CBD and hemp, is growing a lot here over.
yeah, yeah. So,
No,
so maybe you would. I think what you're saying there is maybe one of those brands. You know, if you had need of the product, you'd buy it buy it from them for the first time because you sold the billboard activity as well. That's very interesting. I will move on to the next question now. In the last quarter, in this peak period, did you notice any companies that were taking part for the first time in like Black Friday, in promotions, anything, anyone especially unusual that you would not expect? So, for example, did you notice a luxury brand maybe taking part in Black Friday for the first time, or any brand taking part in promotional activity for the first time?
so I'm not talking about special brands here, over, except of those in the start, but those are really big brands where do their business overall in the world. But for me, it was really interesting that sustainability is such a segment which grew a lot, and I'm not sure if it depends on the pandemic itself. Yeah, it's something, I guess, as we've seen in the last year already, that you as a human being are more focused on your home, on the ones who surrounds you, which are in your environment, in your family, your friends. The less you can see, you are allowed to see, especially over in Germany. It's really hard restricted here, whom to see and when and how often and until when. So we have a lockdown since around about 4 weeks now, and I have to be at home at 9 o'clock in the evening. Yeah,
Yeah, the
means I have
curfew
to
as well.
focus at
Wow.
home. It means it's a lot of food here over. Yeah, which is those retailers were absolutely growing a lot, but also delivery services. There are new initiatives here, like for example, Food Hub, where you can harvest your own vegetables and sell it in a group with
Nice.
other people. Yeah, that's cool. There are ideas.
Really
Yeah,
cool.
there are really ideas here, and I mean that's for me, of course, very important, because everyone is so focused on himself and to eat and to cook even more healthy, yeah, and to buy very good stuff for at home. And but the first retailers, as you mentioned or as you asked, who was participating on Black Friday, for example, there were much more than in the last year. So a lot of the new shops, or a lot of shops who didn't participate in the last year, did it this year, and that made it so successful in this year, I guess. Yeah, for every retailer here over, not only in Germany. It's a worldwide topic. Yeah, in the meantime.
Yeah.
So no special campaigns. No, there were a lot of campaigns, and I know, for example, for the UK is very Christmas shopping focused. We are not, and I mean we are normally, yeah, but it was so strange with the restrictions before of Christmas here. Maybe this was the case, and this is the follow-up on this, as we were very uncertain what happens as next. Yeah.
Yes.
And no one, or the retailers, less of the retailers, they were encouraged to do any campaigns around Christmas and saying, well, cool time. It wasn't a cool time because you haven't been able to
I see.
gather around and so on. So
So
you
it's
have
like sensitivity messaging. So
Yeah.
so there was less focus on Christmas,
much less
mentioning Christmas per se, because of the being sensitive to the fact that people were not able to spend time with their families. I mean, we saw something slightly similar here, where when over here the big supermarkets, when they do their television adverts for Christmas, it's very talked about. This year or last just gone, all the big retailers still did their Christmas adverts, but there was very sensitive messaging about, even you can still, enjoy responsibly at home. Small groups are fun as well. No, dogs, no need for social distancing with your dogs. So there, I think I know what you mean, Richard. Yes. It's interesting how every country had to, every country, company had to adapt in some sort of way, their marketing as well,
Absolutely.
to
Yeah,
make
absolutely.
it not so insensitive.
And as you say, dogs. So if you have a dog here over in Germany, you are allowed to go out after 9 p.m.
Yeah,
So it's an
yeah,
advantage to have a dog here over.
yeah. And then I'm going to move on to the final question. So, and this is more from your personal feeling. When you discuss, last festive season with your own network of family and friends, do you get the general feeling that people spent more or less than last year? Like, how did their shopping habits change in any way?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, bottom line, first, they bought much more online. That's my impression, and that's only my perspective. I sat at home. The most time of the time I sat at home. No traveling, so no expenses for traveling. Absolutely uncertain about what happened this year, 2021.
Mhm.
I can't go out. I can't meet friends. I can't go out for dinner, for lunch, whatever. So saving money, yes, here. Giving more money out for food, home entertainment, and so on.
Yes.
That's yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's me, but they're coming to hard figures. And that's really, really hard. The government established some rules, some measures on bankruptcies here over in Germany, and that made it much easier for the smaller shops, retailers, whatever, shops and business, to keep on their life, the business life, on to the next year. That means this year. We don't know so far what happens in the next couple of months, but what is a fact that we had, of course, because of those measures and because of those rules of the government, we had around about 13% less bankruptcies as 2019. Yeah,
Okay.
as 2019. That's yes, but that's just the amount of, yeah, the amount got down. But what does it mean to the bigger ones, to the bigger companies? We had roundabout, and there are a lot of bigger companies, really, which were very well known, that went bankrupt. And that means that those companies that had more than 50 million euro revenue in a year, those companies were much more as the year before. And that again means employees much more unemployed.
Yes.
Because of those bankruptcies, yeah, in 2020 than in 2019. Yeah. So let's see what, hopefully not too much bad, but let's see what happens in this year. But that's really a hard figure, and that means also that, yeah, consumption, of course, because the uncertainty, the perception of what is going with my income, with the salary, is really, they're cautious about, people are cautious about. And consumption went down by roundabout, it depends on which figures you are relying on and believing on. And there are some different figures, but it's between 6 and 8% less than in the year before. On the other hand, savings, the savings perception, savings rate grew up by around about 3 to 5%. Yeah, that means there's less money in the market, and they don't spend so much money, and that's something on hard figures, and there will be much more figures after this pandemic. Maybe it's hopefully it's we have it passed very soon.
Hopefully with the vaccinations going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vaccination with some other part, maybe there's also some other help here, but
Yeah.
that's really hard stuff for the complete economic and the social life. The social life is really hard. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I think we were talking earlier, weren't we, about this whole situation has created two opposite ends of society.
Yeah.
The people who are okay because they have, you know, white collar, they have professional jobs, they are able to work from home, work online, so they will stay comfortable, they will be, hopefully, touch wood, okay. But
Yeah.
then there are the people who are the workers, like delivery drivers, people who work in the supermarkets, who cannot work from home, and who traditionally, historically, have been paid not so well, and it's unlikely that their salaries will get a big boost, and because they don't work in online or digital as well. So we may see, you know, this opposite ends of society becoming more extreme. And in English, we say the haves and the have not. So
Yeah.
you have not. So we
Exactly.
may see more of this. And I think you were saying this is the same in Germany as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. We call it the social scissor,
Yeah.
and it's get divided more and more here over.
Yeah.
This won't
Yeah.
help to make it smaller.
Yeah. The
No?
social divide is becoming wider, and hopefully after this situation has settled down, maybe we can look forward to our respective governments stepping in and doing something to resuscitate the economy for the benefit of all, not just the ones at the top, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. And we have a social responsibility, and we have an economic responsibility against all our clients, against also the world. Yeah, every one of us, as we are part of,
Yeah.
and means. And this is something I'd like to raise here in this interview for the people all there listening to this little words. Yeah, be responsible and help anyone. Either it's, and our way is the online way. Help them, help the smaller shops, help the big size shops to grow and to be part of this game and to save, yeah,
Safe
lives.
livelihoods, yeah. And I think didn't Webgains Germany do some nice charity work as well in Q4? You did something. I remember
Yes,
your
absolutely.
colleagues were telling me you did
Yeah,
some initiative, yeah?
we did some initiatives, just to mention two of them. The one thing is the harvesting. It was with the Bundesministerium here for Ernährung, yeah. And they had a shop, not a shop, but it's an initiative where, as the first pandemic came, there were no harvesters here over in Germany because most of the harvesters here are out from the neighbors here, Poland and Romania and so on. So they couldn't get they couldn't come here. That means no food, food yes, but no fresh vegetables, especially vegetables here over was not able to provide to the people and to the supermarkets. Yeah. And this initiative said, hey, be a German and help and harvest and give some food to the people, fresh food. You need to, and this is something no one's mentioned, such you need to have a good immune system. And that's something that's less mentioned here over in this last year. And vegetables can help. Yeah. And the second initiative was, it's a natural responsibility for our trees, yeah, and to plant trees. And that's something we also support. And we'd like to have the first tree to be in place, but we are not allowed to do so. Well, it's allowed, but it's not the right time to gather with people around to do such a video. We will have this maybe in the summertime when we do that, but it's just two initiatives we are faced with, and we love them, and more to come.
Thank you so much for your time, Ricky. I really enjoyed this session that we just had. I learned so much about what is happening in Germany. Really, thank you very much for your time, Richard. And I think, if there are any follow-up questions that we receive from drum readers, I'll be sure to share those with you so we can respond. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in as well. And stay safe.
Thank you, Mumtaz, and thanks for the opportunity. Yeah, stay healthy. Yeah.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Bye bye. Tschüss.
Bye.
Bye.